Psychic medium Sarah Lemos joins Chaplain Jodi, that's me, on this special 5-part podcast series on Survivor Angels. We call it The Dance, celebrating the wisdom, strength, and beauty of aging. On this episode, we talk about aging as empowerment. We're going to celebrate strength, wisdom, and beauty in our aging process.
It's time for Survivor Angels, an approach to strengthen trauma survivors. Here, you can escape what draws negativity and engage your positive abilities and the gifts that you've always had. Let's activate your angels. And to help you on that journey, here's Chaplain Jodi.
Are you empowered, Sarah?
I am empowered. Because I choose to be. It is a choice. I choose to be empowered. I choose to be, it's funny, this year, I don't know why I can't remember my age, but it is a big joke. I have written my name, my name's fine. It's the age that I keep changing, or I'll be talking to someone and Josh will go, honey, no, you're not. And I'm like, what? He's like, add 2 more years to that. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yes, I'm the same age as you are. And you keep telling people that. I'm like, well, I'm not trying to lie. I'm just, I keep forgetting. But I do feel empowered. I feel at this age, like I was really thinking about this and I was like, I just feel freer and less locked in to idealisms and pressure and things that, yes, I chose to take them on myself. The way I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to do as a woman, because those things have become very, very confusing in my lifetime. And so I do feel like now at this age, if you ask me and it's the right date and I give you the right age, but I do feel empowered. I feel empowered and I feel amazing. And no, I don't feel 20 anymore. But I do feel empowered. I've learned, I've grown. I have, there's something about just not taking life so seriously. And boy, did I take life seriously.
Yep. So why do we call it aging? Or is maybe more the question, why does aging have such a negative connotation? Why isn't it more empowering? What's behind that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And why is it so? Why does the energy shift when we talk about age? Why does it goes from, it could be very positive to something very negative very quickly.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that's a really good question. And I think that's something that should sit with each and every one of us is that's a good question to ask yourself, because it'll tell you a lot about yourself. It'll tell you a lot about where you're headed and if it's going to be an easy road or a rough road.
Mm-hmm. What word would you substitute? I know, so I didn't mean to just hit you with that.
Oh, I love that. But when you talk to me, I always want to talk from my soul. So I always take a minute because I want to make sure that I would say experienced. I would say, no, I feel, oh, it just ran through my head and I couldn't catch it.
Do it as I am, rather not I. Instead of I am aging, what would you substitute? I am
growing.
What?
I'm growing.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. As I had thought about this before we did the show, I came up with thriving.
Oh, I'm thriving. Woo, that's awesome.
Yeah, yes. So growing is too. Yes.
I am thriving. I love that.
Because it's like they say you're never too old to learn. Because you're not.
it just keeps going, and you keep growing too. That never stops. At least I hope it doesn't for people.
Right. No, and like I said, it's how you look at it too. Like, I brought up in the very first episode how my massage therapist said, do you want to be the person watching people walk on the beach, or do you want to be one of the older people walking on the beach? And I think that mentally I want to continue growing, and I want to keep changing my purpose as I continue my voyage in this lifetime. And I'm hoping that I don't get caught I hope I don't continue to get caught in the not good enough, didn't accomplish enough, why did I do this, why did I do that. I hope what keeps changing for me in the future is that I'm able to let go, and I'm just able to let universe guide me.
Right. Yeah. And I think you would say the same thing that what I'm about to say is I measure who I am now, not by how do I want to say this? It's by what am I doing for others? How am I making other people's lives better? How am I making the world better? Those sorts of things, instead of what can I do for me to get more accolades and more recognition and
absolutely
all this stuff that society says that we have to be an important person.
Right.
I see my importance in this life by what I do for others.
Yeah. Yep. So do I. But I think that allows me to also, when you are in service of others, you can take things more personally. And so as I age, I hope I'm able to continue to give back. And then I hope that it wasn't good enough, or that I have for myself, or that are whispered in the world around me, I'm able to say that's just silly, and I'm just going to keep marching on.
Right. Yep. I liken what we do to, if everybody dropped their pebble in the pond and watched the rings go out and out and out, you would eventually see the rings overlapping from others until it's just one big gigantic ring.
Yeah.
From everybody having dropped their pebble.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. I think too, though, how do you help someone reframe and help someone feel empowered? How do you, when we have the society and we have television and we have commercials and magazines and everything that suggests aging is death and aging is like limited, and how do we leave our audience right now, and how do we leave them in a space of empowerment?
The first thing that I would say, and it's actually what I did, a little piece of it is what I did my blog on today, is psychologists are now saying that it is our cell phones and social media that are turning people into narcissists. Bam, did that. That's something that I've been saying for a few years here now, and it's so true, because in doing that, they're not developing their inner qualities. Who are they? They're not that photograph. Who are they inside? And I think that's what I would say to our viewers and our listeners is stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and what society has told you you have to do to blah, 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 because you are enough. And I know that's kind of become a cliche phrase, but at the heart of it, that is so true. You are enough because we are all unique in our own way.
Yeah.
And, that was redundant.
No, it's very
Whoa.
true.
Yeah. And so quit trying to be like everybody else, because you weren't put here to be like everybody else. So be you. You know, even the rough edges pieces, because the rough edges are going to get smoothed out along the way. And that's okay, because we're all going through that same process. So just be you and quit worrying about all the other stuff that literally is flying around us at warp speed.
Yeah.
And that's where I think to disconnect from so much of the stuff is the best thing you can do.
I think too, be careful with comparisons.
Yes.
Even, you know, at my age, now it's like, okay, I've gotten so far in my job, and I've gotten so far in my marriage, right? And I've gotten so far as a mother, like what I did. And the poison is in comparison. The minute I start comparing myself to another psychic medium, then the minute I start comparing myself to another parent that I think is so great, is so awesome, the minute I look at another woman on Facebook who's doing all these things for her husband because blah, 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 it's like, well, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's like, no, stop. You're comparing.
Right.
So, you know, if you like something you see, go ahead and try it. Like if that's something you want to nurture and try in your marriage or as a, you know, as a parent or what have you, but be careful in comparing. You know, you are you, and that is magic. I mean, if you think of all the things that had to align for you to be here in this very moment, that in itself is a miracle and magic. And, you know, staying away from comparisons, staying away from judgment and these type of things that are very easy for us to do in any age is to come back. And even if it's daily, where you have to put some time down where you are saying, okay, I'm going to empower self today. I'm going to do something to nurture self today. And if I'm in a place of comparing, maybe I can stop and nurture, because that does harm. And so nurturing ourselves, teaching self, listening to a podcast, doing your stretches, going for a walk, drinking your water, whatever that is for you, get back to you.
Yep.
Get out of that, get back into you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, shoot, I just had a thought and it went right out of my head because it was off of something that you said. Well, maybe it'll come back to me here. Wasn't supposed to talk about it, maybe. Angels just took it away from me. But yeah, I know, like, you know, being an angel light worker and dealing with angels, there's a lot of people out there that talk about angels, just like there's a lot of psychic mediums out there. Mm-hmm. You are Sarah Lemos. You are not so-and-so or so-and-so.
Right.
I am Jodi Dane. I am not so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
And people have told me that. They will say, we follow you because you're not like the others.
Right.
And I just simply say, thank you. I'm not the others. I'm me. And either you like me or you don't. And that's fine. If I don't work for you, that is perfectly all right. You find the person who does.
Yeah.
Because we're not, for whatever reason, we're not supposed to have that bond.
Yep.
And that's okay.
It is. It's really okay. And, you know, taking time to find your people who do your things is so empowering. To be around other people, like you were talking about, you know, people getting out and doing things with, you know, other people that you're alike. That, you know, that's all really healthy. That is just all beautiful. And that's very empowering. When I love it when I go to paracons and you have people that, you know, for all over the United States, sometimes all over the world are at this, you know, con that is all about, you know, Bigfoot and ghosts and there are hundreds of thousands of people there. And it's like, and I thought I was different and alone. And now just going to, you know, one con, I'm like, this is beautiful. We're here to share, you know, share in how we are different, and because that's
Right.
different. And so it's like, I think it's just it's a beautiful way to empower yourself. Be around people that you're like, that you have thoughts that are alike, that be at church, be at work, be it, if it's for you, politics, whatever that is for you. It feels good to be around others like yourself and to feel a part of.
Right. And for those of you who are watching and listening, because you know who I am, you need to start following Sarah, because Sarah already started doing this a couple years back, The Tribe.
Oh.
Sarah has The Tribe, and it is an amazing group to be part of.
Incredible.
And we'll put in the description of the podcast how you can start following that, because again, we all have some similar likes, and yet everybody is completely different. But the support level is incredible. And if that's not your tribe, find your tribe out wherever, like Sarah was just saying.
Yep. Absolutely. Because again, it's these things where you're living and you're not focused on what's left or how many days do I have, or, it's you're living. And that's what we were here to do. It's not about the date at the end of your line. It's about the line. What are you going to do? What are you going to experience? And if you are very focused on death, dying, mortality, and these type of things, I honestly just suggest try living. Come away from and I have to say this, guys, I'm a psychic medium. For the last 14 years, professionally, I've been dealing in death every single day for 14 years. Sometimes you have to back up and you have to go, okay, today we're going to live a little, because we talk about it all day, every day, how to cope, how to deal. And it's about living. It's about living. It's about loving yourself. It's about seeing every line as something you earned, every silver hair on your head as, to a bum knee. Because how did you earn it? How did you earn it?
Yep. And I like to add, besides the living piece, it's the giving. You still have so much to give.
Absolutely.
And don't stop. There's no reason to stop that. So somebody calls you an old lady or something, you do is say to them, I bet in one way I'm younger than you, which means up here in the old noggin.
Yep.
Because what you see on the outside isn't what you are on the inside.
No.
Not at all. And so just don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
No.
Okay, so I've got 4 questions.
Okay.
Are you ready? I've got to look at them here. So Sarah, you can go first, and everybody who's watching and listening, you can be thinking what your answer is too at the same time. What do I celebrate the most physically at this point in your life?
Wow. I don't like that it's taking me this long to answer that question.
It took me a while. Yeah.
So I'm grateful for my abilities to move, walk. I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for all the ways that I can move and be physical.
I'll say you could bust a move. I've seen you dance.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say that would be my favorite. Yes, that would definitely be my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's that I am still as limber as I am, but I worked at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still knock out 25 push-ups a day.
Wow.
Ask Jeff.
Wow, that's
military
impressive. Not because of your age, just it's impressive. Like, I can't do 5, so I am just like blown away. Has nothing to do with your age. It has to do with that number.
You trust me, I didn't start at 25. I mean, you slowly work your way up to it, and then you just be consistent. and you can do it. There isn't anything that you can't do that you don't set your mind to. It's a military thing. It gets stuck in your head. So, all right, second question.
Okay.
What do I celebrate the most mentally?
Yeah, the way you're wording these is like, I need to be like, I want to sit in this. Like, it's like mentally, I'm grateful for literally everything. I feel like I have a learning disability, a severe learning disability, and through the years, I'm continually learning. It may not be like everybody else learns, but I really do catch myself now going, no, look at you. Good job on that. Like, I appreciate that I can still learn, and I appreciate that I am learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I appreciate the fact that I am still curious. I'm still like a sponge, like when I was a kid, and I just read, and watch, and just soak up as much as I can. Yeah. I know some stuff has gotten kind of pushed out from up in my cranium to make room for some of the new stuff. But the fact is I'm still curious. I still want to know. I still want to learn. I still want to grow. So, all right, number 3. What do I celebrate the most emotionally?
That's a hard one on me. That's, the empath in me still feels bruised from being told you're too emotional. You cry too much. So I would say, now, I would say like, that's what I do. That's how I do my work. So if I wasn't as emotional, I don't know that I could be the best psychic medium that I try to be. So my emotions are who I am. My emotions are what I do. My emotions, I love my emotions. But there is a bruised part of me. There's for sure.
Right. And I have a big bruised part of me from trauma too, just like you. I'm an empath, but I am so grateful that I am an empath. At times I feel too much, but that's okay, because that has taught me how I can set my boundaries, because that's also needed. And that's maybe another show that we could do something with how do we manage our emotions, because we didn't get into a lot of that back a couple of podcasts ago. But for me, maybe the bigger thing is that I am a survivor because of the trauma and the emotional piece that goes with it. I celebrate the fact that I'm a survivor. I am not a victim. I will never, ever again claim victim status.
Right.
I am a survivor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 4. What do I celebrate the most spiritually?
Everything. Spiritually is, I would say if this is the 4th door, this is the door I spend most of my time at. I love learning about spirituality. I love being a spiritual person. That's how I see myself. That's how that's what I do. That's what I share. So I think I celebrate every day that. I would say this is my win. This is the one I win at.
All right.
How about
and
you?
For me, it's having met you how many years back now, because I was already moving into my awakening quite a ways, and then I met you, and it was just like, boom, everything busted wide open for me. And that's part of the reason why we're sitting here like this today now and doing our retreats and everything, is because the stars aligned and we met.
That's right. Yes.
So what are your final thoughts, Sarah, on aging and celebrating the beauty and the wisdom and everything of the experience?
I think that, nothing in life is easy. And but I don't want it to be. Because when something isn't easy, I'm able to, it allows me to focus on it, learn from it, and move from it. And so I think that's important. I think secondly, being here now. I only have this very moment. This is my life. This is my death in this very moment, because we only have this moment. And so, yes, it may go, if we're lucky, into the next moment. And for me, that's all about growth. It's about change. It's about learning. It's about understanding. And the more I know and the more I learn, the freer I am, and the less these lines matter, or, my hair falling out, or, having emotions that come and go. I know that's a part of my adventure. That's a part of my adventure. And I know I'm not alone in it. I know all my sisters around the world are experiencing these things. Even though there's not much being talked about it, we're all experiencing it.
Mm-hmm. When Jeff and I met, we have a little monogram. It's JJXA. And it means, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Jeff and Jode's Excellent Adventures. Because when we met and we clicked, we realized that we were on an adventure of a lifetime together.
Yeah.
But he had also had his adventures and I had had mine. It's just now we've come together and we're doing this. And at some point, he will either continue alone on his because I won't be here,
Right.
or I will continue alone on mine because he won't be here. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm so glad that you called it an adventure, because that's how I see it too. It's this wonderful, grand adventure with everything of life in it. And that's what we celebrate. I'm going to cry, Sarah. Sorry.
It's okay, honey.
But it's a privilege.
It is a privilege.
It's really a privilege, this life that we have.
It is.
And to share it, I don't want to make you cry, Sarah, to share it with other people is one of the greatest joys, and again, privilege, I think that there is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if right now you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, I wish I could see it that way, understand it's a choice and you can. It's absolutely a choice and you can. Yes. I don't think I started out, I'm not going to tell you that as a little girl, this is how I saw it. I'm not going to say to you in my 20s, this is how I saw it. But through this adventure and pulling out the thorns and, pulling up the bootstraps and learning and continuing to grow, I find myself here in this moment and understanding that it is a choice. It's a choice to see it as a blessing versus a curse. It is an opportunity to see it as a gift.
Absolutely. So we hope that you've enjoyed the podcast,
yes.
Everybody, the 5 parts. Sarah and I I'm sure we'll come back and do more podcasts. Just we don't have anything scheduled right now because we have other things. We're going to be together, well, kind of sort of together at the Missouri Paracon,
yep.
which is end of February into the first part of March, right?
Correct.
Then we have got our retreat, the Enchanted Convergence.
Yes.
In Sedona, April 4th through the 6th. And we'll have in the description if you're interested. Joining us, that's going to be awesome.
Yes, it is.
And then we do know in October, we're going to be doing another retreat. We aren't ready to put that information out quite yet, but in October, there will be another one. So you can be watching for that. What else have you got, Sarah? I know you've got a few other things coming up.
If to keep an eye on what I'm doing, you can join us in Our Tribe That Thrives on Facebook. It's a group. You just click on groups, go right to the Tribe That Thrives, and you can stay up to you'll get to know all of the things that I'm doing, especially with Jodi and the excitement of 2025.
Yes. So, and of course, my website is chaplainjodi.me, like in me. And like Sarah, if you Google Survivor Angels, it'll pop up on all the social platforms and everything. So I guess the last thing I want to say to everybody is don't think of it as aging, think of it as thriving. And Sarah, you don't think of it as aging, you think of it as growing. All right. Until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us.
Thanks again for joining Chaplain Jodi on Survivor Angels. For more information, go to chaplainjodi.me. That's chaplainjodi.me. And on Facebook at Survivor Angels-Chaplain Jodi. Sound effects for the show created by Andre Opate and provided by Pixbay. This is Dave Schrader. Until next time, sending you off to activate your angels.